Follow Tide 100.9 on Facebook today to watch our live shows, read the great articles, and interact with Bama fans today.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Townsend Nissan is the #1 volume dealer because of offers like these. Up to $12,000 of instant savings on the Armada. Up to $10,000 instant savings on the full-size Titan pickup. The all-new Nissan Rogue SV. $3,000 instant savings and rates as low as 1.99. The awesome Altima SR. $3,500 instant savings plus rates as low as 2.49. New Nissan Sentras SVs. $3,100 instant savings and rates as low as 3.99. And yes, specials on the all-new Frontier V6. $3,000 instant savings and rates as low as 2.99. See Kylan or BJ today at Townsend Nissan.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-420-2255. That's 800-420-2255. 800-420-2255.
Welcome into the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview, hosted every Thursday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. by Martin Houston. right here on Tide 100.9 and 1230 AM WTBC, your home for Alabama Crimson Tide and Alabama high school sports. Now here's your host, Martin Houston.
Welcome into the West Alabama inaugural edition of the West Alabama High School Football Pigskin preview. I'm so excited to be doing this. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, don't be shocked if I say the Martin Houston show. Don't be shocked if I say the wrong thing because I have been doing that show for so many years. Sometimes you just go on autopilot, but we're excited to be bringing you the West Alabama Pigskin preview show. We got some great sponsors we'll be highlighting as we move throughout the program. If you want to join that winning roster, that winning lineup, you can just email Martin at martinhouston.org. Great opportunity for you to support local high school sports. We complain a lot, we say a lot, and then when we have an opportunity, we don't jump on board and do anything about it. But that's what I'm trying to do, is bring some light to the programs in West Alabama. There's a whole slew of them, 20 plus schools. I know I'm not going to hit them all, at least this year maybe, but we don't plan to go anywhere. We plan to be back at it each and every year. This is just the inaugural show of the inaugural year, and we're glad to be here. I'm Martin Houston. That's Wyatt Fulton, and our phone lines are the same way as always, 205-342-9904. That's the hotline. If you want to ask a question, I went ahead and brought my expert on that I'm going to be introducing you here to in just a moment, because I can share content that I have researched and read, but I don't know this market yet. I'm learning it. I'm growing in it. But we want you to interact with us. Once again, that's at 205-342-9904. That's the hotline. If you call, your conversation will be right in here. You can ask myself and my guest I'm going to be introducing in just a moment. And those of you who are in on the live stream, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the X, whatever, you can type your comments in chat and we'll work it in. So we know that Anna has some family and friends out there that have jumped on. So if you guys want to test her out a little bit, go ahead and do so. Just add your comments in chat and we will work them into the conversation. I've teased you a little bit. I guess I need to go ahead and let you know who we're going to be having. No, I'm going to make you wait just a little bit longer if you're on the radio. Here's some of the things we're going to talk about. How about that? Let's talk about what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about Alabama High School Athletic Association overall a little bit. NIL is an issue in high school. Transfer portal is probably a bigger issue in the state of Alabama in the high school. Also, Super 7. A lot of people haven't thought about this issue. Super 7. Where is it going to be played at continually moving forward? It found its home in a great program, great time at Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare. But moving forward, Jordan Hare is probably going to have to be used when they fool around and get in the playoffs. Now, I know, I'm sorry. I have to remember this is not an all Alabama crowd. Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare maybe have to be used because these teams could be hosting a playoff game with the 12-game scenario. And so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Paul Bryant High. New sheriff. They got a new sheriff. And my guest has spent some time with him, so we're going to break that down. Hillcrest makes the big jump. What big jump is that? That's 7A football. We know what that did to the top program in West Alabama for years. It was always Hillcrest, County High, Hillcrest, County High. When County High made the jump, it didn't go well. Is Hillcrest ready for that? We'll talk about that as well. We also will highlight some of the top players. Anna and her team over at the Tuscaloosa News have done a great job highlighting some of the top players, upperclassmen and underclassmen separated out. And so we can bring that into the conversation if you have some questions there. And last but not least, I'm going to get Anna's thoughts on the first game of the week we'll highlight next week, which is Fayette County and Gordo. So we'll talk about that. You've heard me say the first name a couple of times, but let's officially bring in Miss Anna Snyder. She is with the Tuscaloosa News. She's a high school reporter. I think she also has a little double duty where she occasionally runs over and takes care of the Alabama Crimson Tide. I've heard her ask questions, but this is my first time to actually officially see you. Welcome in, Anna. You are the first official guest of the first inaugural show of the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Honored to be the first guest.
Yes. And hey, listen, we will go up from here, but you have set the bar extremely high, and we appreciate you coming on here as our resident expert in Tuscaloosa here. And Anna's going to be a weekly guest. She's going to hang around for a couple segments tonight. Moving forward, she may only be on for one segment at a time. But we'll play that by ear and by her schedule. But she definitely will be a regular contributor here to the program. I talked about a couple of things that I would like us to talk about. But anytime I have a guest on, I always like to ask them, what's on your plate? What is it that you want to talk about? What are you excited about when it comes to West Alabama high school football?
You know, you touched on some of them. Obviously, Coach Jones at Bryant, that's a big one. Hillcrest moving to 7A, that's another big one. Another one is Tuscaloosa County, who you mentioned. They have a new head coach coming into this fall, Miles Holcomb. So that's going to be, pretty exciting to see how they do under them, how his first year over there goes. But, really just everything. I've been saying it. I can't believe the season starts next week. I guess it's already started, but I'm just so excited to get out there.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of games tonight, a couple of Jamboree games. I know the one is Northridge High School, where I used to actually volunteer coach and where my kids went to school, and several of my kids graduated from there. So I know that they have a Jamboree going on tonight. But next week, week 0, as they call it, we'll highlight a couple of big games. So what we're going to do, just so we can get back on the right clock, we're going to go to break here. Anna's going to, like I said, hang around with me for a couple of segments and spit some knowledge on high school football in West Alabama. As we go to break here, actually, as I said, we're transitioning here. We're you tell me why. Do I need to get the break, or can we go ahead and hang around a little bit longer in this segment?
Let's jump right into it. I'm ready to hear about some high school football in West Alabama. Let's get rocking and rolling.
All right. Well, that's Wyatt Fulton. Wyatt is our brand manager here on Tide 100.9, 12:30 a.m. And he also has a high school scoreboard show he'll be doing on Friday night. So, Wyatt, tell them how they can help you make that show successful on Friday nights.
Absolutely. You guys can tune in, pay attention to your favorite high schools. We'll have the scoreboard show every Friday night. We're still trying to nail down a start time. I think we're going to start things either 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So if you want to call in, talk about what you saw at the game, talk about, maybe some big performers and stuff like that, jump in. The number's the exact same across every show on this station, 205-342-9904. If you want to jump in, go for it. We will always take callers. We will never turn down a caller, even if you're a little upset, you're a little aggravated because your team lost. It's fine. You come ramble on our show. We don't care. It's awesome. We have a ton of fun around here, and I'm sure Anna will at some point in her many games that she's going to be working this fall. She'll make a couple appearances on that show as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's awesome. So let's get back to Anna, and we're able to do this because of Box Eye Care. Go check out Box Eye Care. I'll tell you a little bit more about them when we get to break here, but they're one of our great sponsors. Well, Anna, we'll just start off. Let's talk a little bit about the craziness of high school football. There's been a lot of people that have been totally like crazy about this, at the college level, but they've not really been following the fact that NIL and transfer has become a huge issue in the state of Alabama, and really could have an impact on the quality of Alabama high school football. What have you heard? I know that there's a new sheriff in town in terms of running the high school association. But what have you heard coming out from them in terms of just, first of all, looking at the NIL piece?
I haven't heard a ton, from the AHSAA regarding NIL. I don't know if you heard, the quarterback at Thompson, it kind of was some news. He was offered some money for NIL and he had to turn it down because NIL is not a thing, in the state of Alabama, whereas in the state of Georgia, it is.
And Louisiana. I think Louisiana too.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. You're right. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see, if what gets put in place, if anything gets put in place, because I feel like these next few years are going to be pretty important just in shaping that. And the transfer portal, it's funny saying the transfer portal, because it's cool, but it's a thing. And I mean, I think as long as it's done correctly and within the AHSA guidelines, then there shouldn't be an issue. But it's going to be interesting going forward to see.
Yeah.
And I wonder
think that's the problem. Go ahead.
Still under any pressure. I doubt it. But since other states have done it, I wonder if they feel they need to follow in the footsteps. But I guess it's just we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I know Heath Harmon, the new executive director for Alabama High School Athletic Association. He's kind of talking in generalities now and saying, hey, we understand that it's something that needs to be researched, and during the process of doing that and making sure it has a plan. But with surrounding states already having it, it's going to increase the transfer problem. Now, I personally, Heath, you may not know this. I know this because of one of my coworkers' husbands coached at former coworker's husband coached at the school that Heath left, Oxford High School, and they lost numerous players, Anna, every year to places like Thompson, Clay, and Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Those are the top programs in the state, and I'm good friends, or not good friends, but I know Mark Freeman really well at Thompson. But the reality of it is, these kids aren't just making bona fide moves without help. And I don't have a problem with people pursuing their best opportunity. I have a problem with cheating, and that's the problem. That's the problem that they have. And if they don't go ahead and put something in place, it's going to have the same effect as the college game. The college football game got crazy, and it's still crazy, and they're slowly trying to bring it back in. I hope Alabama doesn't allow that to happen. And I know there's been some legislation around the state, in the state legislature, to begin the process, but they better get on it. Anything else you want to say on that?
No, nothing else. I guess I would just say it's interesting, because you can talk to some coaches about it, and their opinions on it can just be so different, just about what they've done, what they've experienced. It's a crazy world we live in. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I would say that the ones who are getting the players think, oh, there's nothing wrong with a transfer or NIL. The coach who has two coaches and 3 players out of 11 on each side of the ball that plays every other position as well, probably not so much. It's sort of like the Vanderbilts at the college level. The big boys get the players that are developed by the little guys. I hope they do something that just keeps it at a fair playing field so that you don't have kids getting hurt. And we actually have a caller. So Anna, we're going to bring in Pat. Pat, you're in with Martin and Anna Snyder of the Tuscaloosa News. What's on your mind, sir?
How y'all doing? But Anna, I wanted to call in, being this is Martin's inaugural show, but I actually got a few points to bring up here. What makes Hillcrest think they can compete with Thompson has 2,000 plus students. Hillcrest has a deficit of over 700 students. That's a whole high school, 700 students.
Mm-hmm.
That's an entire high school. Come on. And then you go down to Daphne, Alabama.
Let Anna answer that first question, Pat, before you go to your second.
Okay.
Anna, just, we were going to talk about this. What are your thoughts? Hillcrest making a big jump. It didn't go well for the last Tuscaloosa school that had to start playing those Birmingham schools.
Yeah,
Not going to go well for this one either. Go ahead.
I was at Hillcrest, on Monday, and they've got Coach Mitchell over there. He's been there. He's going into his 4th season. He's laid a great foundation. They got their quarterback coming back, Bryson Kimbrough. He had a great year last year. They got some good players. They lost a bunch of seniors, but, they're bringing back a bunch of talent, got some good youngsters, some newcomers. It's going to be tough. There's no denying that. They know that. But, it's going to we'll have to wait and see. But I think Hillcrest has the tools, and Coach Mitchell's done a great job over there. So, yeah.
But they've got a real pretty field and all that. But they're gonna be just like when my son used to go into places like that. They stomp the crap out of them, and they're gonna get their growing pains, which they deserve. But I'm not a Hillcrest fan. But anyway, But what I'm saying is Daphne down there. Daphne's got 1,800 students, and that's a small. When they start going against some of the bigger schools of Murphy and Mobile, oh my goodness! Hey, and when they start playing Spanish, they won't play Spanish for it. Hey, but I promise you this, they're gonna get spanked, and that's too much. I can't understand how there's that much difference in those schools, and why they haven't split Thompson up or something. Because when I first came here, I came here to bring my son to. Because he came from a team in Mississippi where he had won every game that he played, and I came here to send him to the high school right here next to my house, Central, and they split Central up when Central could have been a good school if they'd left them together, and they made Northridge over there and something else and Bryant and blah blah blah, and they took a powerhouse school here in Tuscaloosa and destroyed the football program. Destroyed. They went from winning every ball game to losing every game at Northridge.
Yeah, and Anna, of course, wasn't around when that happened, Pat. But I would say we're going to have to get the break. But I would say, Pat, that I think they should have went to 2 schools. I had no problem with additional school. I think had they went Central and one other school where just think about this. If you were to take all the athletes from Bryant, all the athletes from Northridge, all the athletes from Central, and just make 2 schools, you probably have a pretty powerful 6A program. But when you split them up into 3 6A schools, it's pretty tough. And now Hillcrest, to your point, Hillcrest and County High are probably in the bottom portion.
Both of them are.
And remember, there's only a handful of 7A schools. That's the problem. Is Alabama's going to have to grow the 7A thing, but while they're doing that, Pat, it's been just too big of a thing to get there. We have to get to break, Pat. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Hey, Miss Anna, good luck to you in whatever you're doing, and thank y'all for taking my call.
Thanks. We'll be back on the other side. Go check out Box Eye Care. Box Eye Care, 205-342-0660. BoxEyeCare.com. They are taking care of you, and they'll take care of your eye care. Have an in-house lab, great selections, competitive prices, and a great service you've come to expect and deserve from Box Eye Care. Daniel Box, OD. He'll take care of you. Go check him out once again at Box Eye Care or visit their location on Oscar Baxter Drive, 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. We'll be back for more conversation with Anna Snyder of the Tuscaloosa News.
Find Tide on Twitter at Tide109 to keep up with show announcements, guests, and our reporters in the field.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-8157. 800-240-8157. 800-240-8157. That's 800-240-8157.
Ask a fella, what do you love about her? And he's likely to flounder and fumble. Words are hard, guys. We get it. And we know you love her. So when words fail, diamonds tell the whole story. Fincher and Osment has been helping tongue-tied gents say I love you for 120 years. We'll help you find something better than 1,000 romantic poems. Something so good, it'll leave her speechless.
I'm Tom Osment, your jeweler at Fincher and Osment Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. The Martin Houston Show.
Join the Martin Houston Show for a Friday edition of the program. It'll be a free-for-all Friday. We'll continue to break down Alabama football. And also want to remind you that tonight you can catch the high school football show. The West Alabama High School Pigskin preview airs tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll be doing a preview show of all of the schools that we'll be covering throughout the 2024 season. Those conversations and more right here on Tide 100.9 and 1230 AM WTBC.
Catch the Martin Houston Show from 6 to 7 weekday mornings on Tide 100.9.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 tests under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
The Buell Elrod Holman Water Authority has an opening in water distribution and production. For more information, contact us at 205-333-0231 or visit behwater.biz.
Alabama Crimson Tide lives right here.
Down to the pylon! Touchdown, Alabama!
On Tide 100.9.
Welcome back in to the West Alabama High School Pigskin Preview Show. Hey, listen, if you're out there listening and you happen to be a Bama fan as well, get your officially licensed, co-branded Alabama swag, the Legacy Collection. Hey, this is the only place you can get it. Premium jerseys, premium caps, and unbelievable Alabama swag featuring, listen to this, the Block Varsity A with the elephant stepping through. That's old school, Anna. That's old school. That's back in my day. That's the logo we had. So it's a little different. If you want to get it and you're listening on the radio airways, you can go to athletesthread.com/collections/Martin-Houston. Or if you're tuned in on the live stream, all you have to do is look at the QR code, check it out, scan it, and it'll take you there. Once again, that's the officially co-branded Alabama swag, legacy, and more premium jerseys, caps, and more. All right. Now, Anna, this is probably going to blow your mind, but it's hard to believe, but they let us old school guys have NIL. So that was my first design. So it's hard to believe, but us old school guys getting to take a little advantage of the NIL. So, all right. Welcome back in. I need to bring you back in here. It is definitely exciting times ahead. Let's talk a little bit. You spent some time today with former Alabama player and new head coach Christian Jones, who's now the new sheriff over at Paul Bryant High. What can you share with us?
Yeah, so today I spoke with Coach Jones a little bit, but today was my first day getting out there, getting to meet him. And yeah, I mean, it looked like things were going well. I'm talking to him. He said everything was going well. He said it's up tempo, high intensity, but you know that the kids are taking well to it. I'll credit him because that coaching vacancy came, I want to say July 24th. And by August 2nd, he was named head coach. And he told me that next Monday was their first practice. But yeah, I mean, he has great energy. Seems like the team's excited. He told me he kept majority of the staff that was there from last year, brought a few guys, but you know, that should be good in helping the kids since they're already comfortable with that. So yeah, it seems like good things are on the way over there at Bryant. Oop, are you there?
Yeah, sometimes technology doesn't always do. But in that about Coach Jones, you were sharing that he didn't have a lot of time to prepare to be leading a high school football program, but he definitely took care of it. So, what else? What did he say about expectations? Or was he able to share any as far as expectations for his?
Yeah. So, I asked him, what's your main goal, just for this team, your first year? And he told me really the main goal was for the team to just put the best product out every Friday night. He said they don't have a certain number of wins that they're looking for or a playoff appearance. They're really just focusing on being the best versions of themselves and putting the best versions of themselves out on the field.
Has had some bad luck, some unfortunate breaks through the years, and it seems like once again they have been impacted in a negative sense. Christian Jones' pedigree, Alabama, he knows how to win, and I think as a result of that, we're going to see him be able to take full advantage of the athletes he has there and put a good product on the field. I don't know how good they're going to be, this first year. Anything else you have to share in regards to Christian, that team, before we circle back a little bit on Hillcrest?
Nope, nothing else.
All right. Well, let's look at the Hillcrest thing. Going to 7A, this Hillcrest team, you had mentioned a young man. If you're going to be successful at the high school level, I think it without a doubt starts many times with your QB. So let's talk a little bit about the young man that they have over there at Hillcrest.
Yeah, I when I was over there Monday talking to Coach Mitchell about him, he said to me, he literally said he's that guy. So, that just shows the faith that they have in Bryson there. This will be his second year starting. He kind of took over starting duties a little bit towards the end of his sophomore year. He came in for injured Ethan Crawford, but last year was his first year getting the nod. And, he threw for 23 over more than 2,300 yards. They made it to the quarterfinals of playoffs, won the region again. And this year, obviously taking a big step going into arguably the toughest region in the state. And some even say, the Southeast. But, they definitely got a good guy there under center to lead them.
Without a doubt, I would not argue with it being one of the toughest regions in terms of football. If you look at who they're going to have to go through, what do you think realistic expectations are from a team that has pretty much dominated, Tuscaloosa and West Alabama?
Yeah. I think an expectation of theirs to make it to playoffs, be one of those top 4 teams in that region. I definitely think that's something very doable. The preseason poll, the Alabama Sports Writers one that came out last week, I want to say, had them listed at number 10, but of the 9 teams ahead of them, 4 of them, were in their region. So if the season were to end that way, they would be right on the outskirts of making playoffs. But obviously, yeah, expectation of theirs 100% will be make it to playoffs. And I definitely think, that's something that is doable.
And I think if there's any school in Tuscaloosa that's prepared for that, it'd be the Patriots. They'll be competing in 7A Region 3. They will be competing against the likes of Hewitt-Trussville, Hoover, Oak Mountain, Prattville, Thompson, Tuscaloosa County, and Vestavia Hills. There is no walk in the park with any of those guys.
Really not a big room for error right there.
Yep. And secondly, before you have to get out of here, if you I want to make sure I circle around on a couple of other programs. We're going to be highlighting a game of the week each week. We'll pick a couple of coaches. A couple teams that are facing each other. Hopefully, a highlight game. But sometimes we're just going to choose to bring the spotlight to a team that may not be covered. It may not be the biggest game, but we get treated to a pretty good West Alabama matchup in terms of high school football right off the bat. Week 0, Hillcrest and Gordo. What's your take on that?
Gordo and Fayette,
Fayette. I said Gordo and Fayette. Thank you for that catch.
Oh no, yeah. Like you said, it's going to be a pretty fun way to start off the high school football season. This actually will be my first time at the game. I wasn't able to make it last year, but I'm super excited. I was looking back on it this morning, and I want to say the matchup went all the way back to the early 1900s. This is a long rivalry. So it's going to be fun. There's a lot on the line for both of these teams. And I think it's interesting, both coaches, I want to say both are entering their 3rd year, at their respective schools. So it's definitely going to be a good matchup and a good one to kick the season off in West Alabama.
Yeah, definitely. 2 programs I like to look at it, Anna, when I tell people, when people try to figure out why is Alabama football such a big deal? Why is Alabama football so good? Why is Alabama, and they always, people outside of the South and outside of Alabama can't figure it out. Well, it's because it's the highest level of achievement, right, in sport. If you want to be an athlete and play in the state of Alabama, the highest level is Alabama football. There is no greater achievement in sports in the state of Alabama. Well, in these little small towns like Gordo and Fayette, it's the same concept.
Absolutely.
From the fan base, they all live, work, and play together, and it's king. The city's pretty much shut down. So you've not been to Gordo or Fayette when this game is played, right?
Correct. I was in Gordo for a baseball game, but I have not been there for a football game. So I'm sure I got a lot of. Hopefully the town won't shut down, but I'm looking forward to it. That's funny because my boss told me that. He was like, when I first got the job and started here, he was like, Anna, you have to understand, some of these towns on a Friday night, you could probably rob a bank and nobody would even know because everyone's at the high school football game, you know? But I love that, you know, that just adds, it just makes the game, it just makes it so much more fun. You know, everyone gets into it. So I love that.
Yeah. I'm sure you've probably seen Friday Night Lights.
Absolutely.
Well, you will be going to Friday Night Lights. Okay.
Can't wait.
I grew up in a little small town, Cherokee County, Northeast, about 10, 15 minutes from the Georgia line through the woods.
I actually, sorry to interrupt you. I grew up in Cherokee County, Georgia.
Okay. Small, some connection right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, now my home was 5 minutes through the woods. My home was 5 minutes from the Georgia line. I could look into Georgia and see a couple of the bigger industrial plants.
Yeah.
But my little town, man, on Friday night, it was, everybody was there, you know. Everybody that could be there would be there. And these two are like neighboring counties, and so this is kind of the Alabama Auburn of high school football in West Alabama in terms of programs that have had success and done well. And it hasn't mattered which coach was there. I don't know if you do a prediction?
You know, I will. I haven't done it yet, so I will keep my cards close to my chest.
Are you leaning?
I would say leaning towards Gordo. You know, just looking at how games have gone in the past, what they're bringing back. But we'll have to wait and see till Thursday, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm kind of torn. I'll tell you, I won't pick mine until next week either. But one of my former, he's still a friend, former coworker of mine, son is Jake.
Jake Rickman. I know his dad, Bill.
Bill and I used to work together. So if Bill's listening right now, I have to say I'm leaning Fayette. But Gus, now this is going to tell my age. Gus, Coach Smith at Gordo. It was kind of weird. First time I met him, but like I was his like favorite, one of his favorite players. He played the position he played, wore the number he wore, cut his jersey off the way I cut my jersey off.
No
just
way.
Because, yeah. And so so I have kind of a lean that way because of that. So, but anyway, hey, listen, I have to get the break here. Do you have anything, or you want to hang around for the last 15 minutes? Or
I'll hang around for sure.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get the break here, and then we'll be back on the other side. And I want to encourage you to go check out North River Timber Company. North River Timber Company. Courtney White registered for us along with his expert team. They've been managing timber in 4 West Alabama counties, and that number continues to grow. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Call North River Timber Company today and unlock the true potential of your land. Email them at North River Timber Companies, North River Timber CO @gmail.com, or call 205-242-5127. And Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. 205-242-5127.
With Taco Casa, you know, it's not really fast food because it's made fresh every day in the store. The quality hasn't changed, the consistency hasn't changed because we haven't changed anything in the food. It's made fresh every morning in every restaurant. I think buzzwords in today's food industry are locally sourced and high quality ingredients. we want to say, that sounds great. We've been doing that since 1974.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-420-2255. That's 800-420-2255. 800-420-2255.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky mostly fair this morning, the low at 74. Later today and Saturday, a mixture of clouds and sunshine both days with scattered showers and strong thunderstorms around. Highs in the low 90s between 90 and 93. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
Getting her to say yes is just the first hurdle. If you want to marry her, you better get a yes from the whole family. But don't freak out, friend. Fincher and Osment knows what to do. Just think of all the happy couples brought together by us in the past 120 years. We're pretty good at it. So when you want something that takes her breath away and tells her family you're not messing around, Fincher and Osment to the rescue.
I'm Tom Osment, your jeweler at Fincher and Osment Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Find Tide on Twitter at Tide109 to keep up with show announcements, guests, and our reporters in the field.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Hey, if you're looking to be encouraged or encourage those you lead, go to Amazon.com and order The Encouragement Factor. Give Me One More Inch. That's my latest book. You can go find it once again at Amazon.com. If you tune in on the live stream, of course, just click the QR code. All right, Anna. Tell them a little bit about what you do and what you got coming up, and then we'll jump back into some football.
What I do? Goodness. So you kind of touched on it earlier. I am doing a little double duty right now with high school football and some Alabama football, which has been really cool. You know, get to go to some of those open practices. I'll report on that. I also cover some Alabama softball. I got to go with them, not with them, but follow them to Oklahoma City this past summer to the Women's College World Series, which was pretty awesome. So, yeah, just a bunch of high school sports, some Alabama sports sprinkled in there. So it's great. It's been great.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's we got about 7-8 minutes here, so let's knock it out. Schools we're going to cover, I'm going to go through that list. Then I want you to tell me a little bit about some of the top players you've seen in the state that we should, in the West Alabama, that we should look for. Of course, we've mentioned Coach Mitchell and the Patriots at Hillcrest. Northridge, Coach Ryan Lawley, Paul Bryant, Christian Jones, Brookwood, Chris Foster, who's a native of Brookwood, coming back home, the Bear Bryant story at Brookwood, right?
Yeah.
But he's back. Bibb County, Coach Jill Hagan, AHSAA, Cody Martin. He's looking forward to leading the Patriots again. Sipsey Valley, Joey Milligan and his team are looking forward to have a good season. Also, we have Coach D. Pippins at Central. We'll be highlighting that school as one of our, highlight programs. Of course, looking for them to continue to improve. Pickens County, I always want to say reform, but Michael Williams, former Alabama tight end, coaching there. TA making that transition and looking to continue to improve as they have moved to AHSAA. Josh Wright leading them. We mentioned Fayette County, but didn't mention their coach, Jarrett Porter, him leading the charge there. Gordo, Green Wave, Gus Smith, and I'm pulling for him a little bit because he wore number 35. We mentioned Miles Holcomb. You may want to highlight that. You had mentioned that earlier. If you want to highlight that, he's new to County High. They're looking to improve in 7A. Then some of the other schools, Hale County, Ryan Locke, Holt High School, Brian Newton, the Ironman looking to continue to improve. Northside, Robbie Jones, who kind of had almost a Christian Jones type of ascension into coaching, the head coach job. Aliceville, Grady Griffin, Pickens Academy, Kyle Fuller, former TA offense coordinator, West Blockton, Christopher Wilson, named there, and Greene County, Terrence Banks. Now, I've tried to hit all. I don't know if I got all the schools or not. I mean,
not most of them. I'll say.
I think Sulligent.
Sulligent is another one.
Yeah,
Lamar County, South Lamar, but yeah.
So I think they're in Lamar County, and I don't think I picked them, but maybe I need to pick them up since they're that close to us. I didn't listed in one of the counties, but tell us a little bit about. You can tell us about the top players, or you can talk about Miles Holcomb, whichever way you want to take it.
Yeah, I'll start with top players. I gotta mention the Tuscaloosa Academy's Preston Lancaster. He led the state in passing yards last year. You know, he was named the 2A back of the year. I think he threw for more than 3,900 yards and some 46 touchdowns. Yeah. So he's back this year, which is huge for them. They got another big linebacker coming back in Ford Beaker. Bibb County, they got a bunch of big names. One of them, Antonius Steele. He's committed to play at Troy. That's a big one. They also bring back their quarterback in Jordan Leverett. Sipsey Valley, they have another good quarterback, LJ Cormier. I want to say his dad played in the MLB, but he had a spectacular year last year, so he's looking to build off that.
Is his dad the physical therapist?
He might be. I'm not positive.
Okay. Right. We'll search it up.
There's some kids over at Demopolis. One of them actually is a Mizzou commit. My sister went to Mizzou, so I love the Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yep, MIC.
Hey, tell your sister we picked the color scheme of the show in honor of her. What's her name?
Emily.
Emily, just for you. If she's tuned in right now, Emily, just for you, we picked. My high school was black and gold.
Yeah, that's where I went to school, was black and gold too. So that worked out for the both of us.
Cool.
But yeah, Dylan Williams over there at Demopolis. He's a safety. They also have Alex Mullings. And there's some young talent as well. Coach Mitchell told me of one guy on his team, Jacoby Harris. He said he's going to be the only freshman to have started at Hillcrest since Coach Mitchell's been there. Wow. So yeah, there's just lots of big names to look around from around the area. So it's exciting.
Awesome. And the young man that we've talked about a couple of times from Hillcrest is also committed, I think, to La Monroe.
Yes, you are correct.
As well. So, yeah, wow, lots to go on. Let's hit Coach Mitchell. We got about 3 minutes or so to wrap things up. A hard stop it. Hey, go ahead.
Coach Holcomb.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Coach Holcomb at County High.
Yeah, so he came from Southside Gadsden. That was his most recent stop. He was named head coach in January. He's a great guy, young coach. He told me he considers himself a player's coach, and I've watched him out there a bit, and I can see it. He gets out there with the guys. He's out there showing them what to do. So yeah, he definitely seems like he's bringing some good things over to County High. So it's going to be exciting to see how that translates. Cause they're in 7A Region 3, which is, as I've said, probably the toughest region in the state. And, he knows that, they know that. But we'll have to wait and see what they can do this year.
Yeah, hopefully, one of the toughest parts for me, Anna, is I've coached some version of football or basketball little league since my son, who's 33, and he was 5. So that tells you how many years I've coached. And one of my biggest disappointments has always been high school football in West Alabama. I've always felt like it should be better because we're under the shadow of the greatest college program. And for some reason, this year just feels like it may be better. It may produce some better teams because you mentioned quite a few teams that have returning quarterbacks. And with the way the game has changed at the high school level, if you have a dual threat or a dynamic quarterback that can make plays, you can be in most games. And I think that West Alabama, these high school coaches are figuring that out. Give us your closing thoughts.
I'm just really excited for this season. I mean, I kind of know what to expect with it now after having one under my belt, but I'm just super excited. It's going to go by fast, and I know that, but it's going to be crazy to see, how everything ends up come November, December, but I'm just super excited to get on into it.
Well, thank you. Miss Anna Snyder has been our inaugural guest, and she rode with us the entire night. We got off to a little slow start, had a little bump in the middle. But Anna, this is the first one. There will never be another one that it will be the inaugural. So I appreciate you hopping on. Anna Snyder is the Tuscaloosa News high school reporter, double dipping, covering the Tide right now. We want to thank you, all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being a part of the program. We'll work to get better, and we encourage you to work to get better and bring your A game. As we continue to highlight high school football, we will next week highlight Gordo and Fayette, Coach Smith and Coach Porter, and we'll probably talk to a couple of their top players. We'll also have Miss Anna back with us and get her thoughts and her prediction. She's leaning Fayette. I'm leaning Gordo. One of us has to lose.
Gordo.
No, she's leaning Gordo. Bill Rickman's going to be mad at both of us.
I hope he's not listening.
But anyway, we'll be back next week at 7 p.m. every week through August. It'll be 7. When we hit September, we'll hit 6 o'clock. For Anna Snyder, for Wyatt Fulton, I'm Martin Houston. This has been the inaugural edition of the West Alabama High School Preview Show. Thanks to Box Eye Care, the pharmacy, Northridge Timber, the venue.
The following program has been paid for by the Venue Tuscaloosa.
Coming to you live from Venue Tuscaloosa.
All right. Hey, thanks, Anna. We're still live on the side, but we're getting ready to get out of here. Tell everybody bye out there in the social media.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, that's Miss Anna Snyder. She'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Roll Tide and go high school football in West Alabama.